Hey guys, happy Friday. Um, to my TI friends and my anyone else. I I hadn't really been making TI videos for a long time, for almost 2 months, and I uploaded a couple last week. Um, I was kind of stressed out last week, and so sorry about that. Sorry I sounded so stressed out and everything, but you know how it is. Anyway, sometimes you just feel like you have to get the video out um, as soon as possible because you just don't know what's going to happen next. And that was one of those times. But anyway, somebody left a comment on my channel saying, stop complaining, go take a karate class, get a gun, kind of stuff. And I was thinking, well, you know what? I probably need to make more TI videos instead of waiting 2 months. I should probably upload, at least one per week. And because I know that for me, when other TIs talk about their experiences, or even Christians, or just anybody, when anybody talks about their hardships, for me personally, it's encouraging because I feel less alone when other people do that. And so I know everybody's different, but that's how it is for me. And I know that a lot of other people tell me the same thing. So I need to make these videos more often. Um, so I'm gonna try to do that. Even if I don't have anything major to share, I'll just try to at least make one once per week. That's just a personal, update, what's going on. Just kind of chill with you guys for a second instead of cranking out all this information just nonstop. But something did happen last night though. I had another incident with my right ear, and I don't know. There's a couple of small holes in my. I have a shield. You guys know that I use shielding when I sleep. I have to. But there's a couple of small holes, and I just noticed that they're on the right side, and that might actually be what's causing it. So I need to patch those, and then I'll let you guys know if that solved the problem. But in the last couple of weeks, I've had two incidents with my right ear while I'm sleeping, and that one time a couple of weeks ago was a beeping, an electronic beeping, and it's not ringing. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's You know how people will say to you, "Oh, ringing is normal," and they're not even listening to you. It's not ringing. It's like an electronic beeping, and it's in a pattern. But anyway, the last time that happened, I mean, other than like 2 weeks ago, but before that, the last time I remember that happening was when I was um, living in Brooklyn. Like, I guess it's been a couple of years ago now. But anyway, so I don't know what's up with that. But last night, it was just a man's voice just in my right ear, and it woke me up. And the man said, "Boo." And he said it kind of loud. And it was, like I said, it was just in my right ear, though. And I just, I actually screamed. I woke up. Luck, you know, Luckily I didn't wake up my child or anything. But, so I need to do like some patchwork on the shielding. But the other thing I wanted to tell you guys was that they used my dad's voice. And they've done that before. I remember when I was living in Brooklyn, they used my brother's voice one time to wake me up. And I mean, that's something that I've talked about with you guys before, that they have that technology. It's like a voice synthesis technology where they can, they have somebody's voice recorded, and then they just, they can plug that person's voice into this software, and then they just make the voice say whatever they want it to say. It's not really that complicated. It's just that I think some people can't handle hearing it. But I mean, it's real. It's not something that I'm making up, or I don't do that. I don't make anything up. You guys know that. But anyway, yeah. So that was what happened last night, and then they've been interrogating me a lot in my dreams lately. And that's the other thing that they do is they just set up scenarios in my dreams, and then they'll it seems like they're interrogating me, putting me in different kinds of situations, and then they can also, and I don't know how they do this, but while I'm sleeping, they can put thoughts into my head. Because I remember a couple nights ago, I woke up, and in the process of waking up, I was observing my thought, and it wasn't my own thought. It was something that someone else was saying, but they were saying it and trying to pretend to be me. And I know that's confusing, for some people, maybe people that aren't TIs, or maybe TIs who just haven't had this experience yet. But once it starts happening to you, you start to understand what it is. And it's just, I mean, it really is that simple. It's like I'm having a dream, and I'm dreaming that someone's saying something. And somehow I knew, or I thought that they were trying to say it and pretend to be me at the same time. I know that's a little hard to understand, but they do that a lot in my dreams. And I think that the reason why they do that is because, number one, they can't do it while I'm awake. And I mean, it's a scientific fact that your brain operates at a different frequency while you're asleep. And so, also, the other thing is that your brain operates on different frequencies if you're taking medication of any kind, which I don't. I don't. I've never. I should say the majority of my life, I've stayed away from Tylenol and anything like that. So, but I've never taken psychiatric medication or anything like that. So, I went through a time period where I took herbal. I took herbal medication for a while, but that's totally different. That's not. But anyway, the point is that if you're taking any type of drug at all, whether it be a pharmaceutical drug or an herbal drug, if you're taking anything like that, it's going to change the frequency of your brain. So I noticed that when I was taking the herbal medication years ago, it drastically changed the frequency of my brain, and they could harass me throughout the day instead of just at night. They could do it. They could send thoughts to my head throughout the day, just any time of day. But once I completely stopped taking any herbs, or at all, nothing, they were only able to harass me at night. So I know that it has something to do with the frequency of the brain, is what I'm saying. So you might want to consider, if you're being harassed a lot, you might just want to consider what I'm saying. You know what I mean? because I've been on both sides. I I just know what I've experienced. So anyway, but yeah, so that's really, it's just when I wake up in the morning, I feel like I've just gone through a war all night long. Yeah, and that's how I feel every morning when I wake up. And then when I woke up this morning, they ran the water as soon as I sat up in the bed. It was, synchronized. I told you they do that sometimes, and sometimes they don't. They have to switch on and off because if they don't, then you get desensitized to what they're doing. So that's why they'll switch on and off. Like you get used to. Anyway, they don't want you to get used to anything. They want to keep switching things up all the time. But anyway, this morning I sat up in bed and they turned on the water as soon as I sat up in bed, perfectly synchronized. And then I started having this vibration all over my body. And at first I thought it was an earthquake. And it was like this low rumbling. And I thought, oh my gosh, we're having some kind of earthquake. But then I realized that it was just my body. It seemed like it was just my body rumbling. Like it was very weird. And then there's something I want to tell you guys that I haven't told you, and I almost didn't tell you this. But I finally decided that I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Because I think I know what it is now. I wasn't sure before, but I think I know what it is now, so I'll just go ahead and tell you. For the past 4 months, they stopped my cycle, my female cycle, and which is really unusual, not normal for me. And at the same time that they stopped it, like at the very beginning of it, when it first stopped, like I think it was 4 months ago, I started having fluttering in my uterus. And for those of you that have never been pregnant, that's what happens when you first get pregnant. You have like a fluttering in your uterus. Well, I'm not pregnant, just so you guys know. I mean, I've been celibate for 3.5 years. I'm not pregnant. But it felt like I was because I had that. It was the same exact fluttering in my uterus that I felt when I was pregnant. And then I started having the nausea, and I still have the nausea when I don't eat. And when I was pregnant, I had really bad morning sickness, and I was always nauseous before I would eat. And then after the 3rd month, it got better, but I would still get nauseous and shaky if I hadn't eaten right away. Like every 3 hours, I had to eat. And that's what's been going on with me for the past 4 months. So I think that what they're doing is I think that they're experimenting with some type of new birth control. And I think that they've fooled my body into thinking that it's pregnant. And I'm really upset about it. And I don't know what to do because, you guys know what I mean. Those of you that are TIs, you know what I mean. But I'm just going to ask you, like, if anybody has an idea of what I should do. But the problem is that I just don't have any doctor that I trust. I don't trust doctors. I don't have one that I trust. I don't have the money. I don't have insurance. And, those of you that are TIs, this is the situation that they ruin your life to the point where you're at the very bottom and you can't get anything. You can't get any kind of assistance or anything because you're just at the very, very bottom, and they keep you down there for that reason because they know that I'm not going to be able to go complain to anyone because I don't have the money. So I'm out of time, but that's just what's been going on with me. I hope that you guys are okay.